welcome to Unity of Orange County and happy Easter. We're so glad that you're all here to join us. We always like to start our services with our vision and mission statement so you can find out a little bit about who we are and what we believe. So our vision for Unity of Orange County is centered in divine love. We joyfully co-create a world that works for all. And our mission is to awaken, inspire, and transform lives. So we're glad that you decided to join us today, and we just have a few announcements. We are now able to accept donations via text. If you would like to donate to Unity of Orange County, you just text 77977, and on the message put Unity of OC Give. And then after that, it's really easy. You can do a one-time gift, you can do a recurring gift, and I want you to know that we all here at Unity of Orange County really appreciate anything that you can give us. And I also want to thank our volunteers who are here today, who are helping us with this service. We have John Harnick, who is our video, and Reverend Allison, who is our prayer platform person, and our pianist is Bill Wolf, and our sound is Tom Keys. So that's all here to help make this possible. We also are realizing that one of the challenges with this time is that although we can do church like this and video it, people aren't connecting with each other. And so we're providing a lot of different ways for people to connect. One way is after this service, we're going to have a fellowship. And so if you email me at minister@unityoforangecounty.org, I will send you the Zoom link so that you can be part of the fellowship, which is going to happen at 11:15. We also have a lot of activities during the week that are happening, and so please visit our website for that. And also send me your email if you want more information on that, and I will send you the Zoom link for those things. And like I said, we are so glad that you are here, and let us prepare for our time of daily word and meditation.
The daily word for today, Easter Sunday, April 12th, 2020. I recognize the risen Christ in family, friends, and my spiritual community. Early in the evening on the day of resurrection, Jesus, unrecognized, joins two of his followers as they journey from Jerusalem toward the nearby village of Emmaus. Accepting an invitation to stay and share a meal, Jesus takes the bread, blesses it, and breaks it. Then he gives it to his hosts. In that moment, their eyes are opened. They recognize Jesus, and alive in their hearts, he vanishes from their sights. Later, the two explain to others how the risen Jesus Christ came before a living presence to them in the fellowship of breaking bread. Easter celebrates the risen Christ, an immortal presence freed from all limitation, awaiting discovery in every person and in every life event. I recognize the risen Christ in shared experiences with family, friends, and my spiritual community. And the quote today, Luke 24:31. Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he vanished from their sight. As we prepare for our meditation, just find a comfortable place to sit, preferably with your feet on the floor, and begin taking those wonderful healing breaths. And as you exhale, begin then to soften your eyes, and if you so choose, allow them to gently close. And then let's just gently bring our awareness to the breath as it is without trying to change it. And in the silence, listen to the following. And if you so choose, take these words as your own. I am without beginning or ending. I am eternal. I am free to experience life in any way I choose. My consciousness is not bound by time or space. Like the universe itself, I am limitless. I am part of a vast, unified wholeness. I am free from all concerns about the past. I am free from all concerns about the future. My life is in perfect order and it unfolds according to a perfect plan. I am calm in the knowledge that all my needs are taken care of. I am open to all of life's experiences. As the moments of my life come and go, I am at peace. I do not judge these moments. I welcome them. I observe them, and I accept them all. In the quiet spaces between my thoughts, inspiration comes to me, and all becomes clear. My life transforms in magical and unexpected ways. Obstacles that once were impassable now seem insignificant. And I rise effortlessly above all challenges to a place of serenity and knowing. My path forward is becoming clearer and clearer. And every day in every way, my life becomes more and more harmonious as I trust in the natural flow of life. I resist nothing, I yearn for nothing, and I greatly receive all that comes my way. My consciousness is not bound by time or space. Like the universe itself, I am limitless. I am a part of this vast, unified wholeness. And just knowing and embracing this as your truth, take that final deep, last cleansing breath. But keeping your eyes closed, gently smile to yourself. And now I invite you to bring your hands to your heart in the shape of a prayer. And just seal this meditation with this gesture of respect and devotion. Notice how you feel in this moment and set the intention to bring this gratitude forward into your day. Namaste.
Welcome to this Easter Sunday. It's a little bit different this year. If you're one of those people that only goes to church one day a week, a year, Easter, well, you don't even have to go today. And if you're someone that likes to get dressed up, you can have your bonnet on and your finery, or you can have your Easter pajamas. But you notice there are no Easter pajamas. Like Christmas time, we have Christmas pajamas. But after this, I think someone should have come up with Easter pajamas, so everyone could have had their little bunnies on and really gotten into it. So we're going to talk a little bit about Easter today, but I want to talk about it in relationship to how it relates to our life today. Because life today is not normal. And no matter how much we want to pretend that it is, the fact of the matter is that worldwide, everything is different. So for Easter, there are three parts to the Easter story. There is the first part, which is the depth of darkness, and the second is the dawn of hope, and the third is the resurrection into the light of day. So in the story of Easter, we read that Jesus was crucified and darkness fell upon the land. And on the 6th hour he died. And in Matthew chapter 7, it says that when Jesus died, the curtains at the door of the temple were torn from top to bottom, and that a great earthquake occurred, causing some of the tombs to open and release the spirits of those who were in them. So this moment of crucifixion is a really dark and scary moment because Jesus' followers were depending on him to free them from the rule that they were under. And now Jesus is crucified, their leader, their Messiah is gone. And this is a dark, scary time because what has happened to them is they have lost the stuff that they're familiar with. They have lost the things that they have been depending upon. Well, we certainly can relate today because this time of the COVID virus, many of us have lost many things that we're used to. Our whole daily activities have changed. I was talking about this just earlier with someone. Who knows what day of the week it is anymore? You know, there was something, I guess, on YouTube. It's this day, that day, or the other day. Because what happened to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? There's no more weekend. There's no more weekday. And so our lives have been turned upside down. All the places we've gone to, all the social events that we have, all this is turned upside down. And this can be a scary time. Nobody knows how long this is going to last. Nobody knows what is going to happen. People are out of work. People's investments are being lost. Life as normal has changed. So we can relate this to this time in history in the Bible because this is this time of darkness. You know, everything in the Bible we take metaphysically in New Thought. And so this period of darkness and loss is any kind of loss where we lose that which we're familiar with. And so how do we get through this time of darkness? Well, one thing is we have to remember that this too, like we talked about last week, this too shall pass. There would be no resurrection if there was no crucifixion. There is no light without the dark. All of these things are necessary. Anytime we have a loss in our life, it could be the loss of our loved one, a loss of income, a loss of a house, a loss of family around, and that is darkness. And we've all gone through these periods in our life. We've all had periods in our life beside this time when we've had those dark nights of the soul, the times that we think we're not going to be able to get through this, that it seems like the whole world is ending because life has just changed for us. And we tend during those times to get sucked into that darkness and to begin to believe that it's always going to be this way. And that can bring on depression and sadness and grief. And mostly it can give us a feeling of giving up, just thinking that this is it, this is the way it's always going to be. I can tell you from my own life that any time I went through a period of darkness, it was always followed by a dawn of hope and a period of light and resurrection. All of these dark times in our life do end. And whatever you're going through now, know that this will end. So Jesus gets crucified, And that is this period of darkness. And then we have the dawn of hope. So when the women go to his tomb, because they're going to the tomb to get his body because they want to give it a proper burial, they find that the body is missing. The stone has been removed. There has to have been a little bit of hope in their hearts at that time for them to think, well, maybe something is different. Something here isn't the way it's supposed to be. And so in the midst of darkness, we always find these little glimmers of hope. And it is these moments of hope that keep us going. So if you're watching YouTube, and everybody's watching YouTube, because everybody has so much time that they're watching YouTube, Facebook, and everything else they can get their hands on, there are all these wonderful little stories that I see as stories of hope. And they're all over the world. So I found this little bit, it's like 15 seconds, and where it is takes place in Lebanon, of all places. And it is a woman's birthday. And so they get her out on the balcony, and these are all of her neighbors singing her happy birthday. This is happening in Lebanon. This is the bit from YouTube. So for me, that is hope. These are people getting together who might normally never get together and helping someone celebrate a birthday. So one of my sons had his 50th birthday this week, and they were going to have a big party, and of course that ended. And so without my son realizing it, my daughter-in-law planned a surprise Zoom party for him. And she baked a cake, and she invited everybody to sign on to Zoom at a certain time. And once everybody was on, and there were people all over the country, once everyone was on, she brought him down, and everyone said, surprise, and there was the cake, and we sang happy birthday. Well, you know, if you've been in any kind of Zoom thing and everyone is singing, no one is singing at the same time. Makes it very interesting. But we had a good time, and everyone is talking at the same time. But the fact of the matter is that people are finding a way to connect with each other. That, to me, is the dawn of hope, because in the darkness, we don't look for things like this. It's also Passover. And in the Jewish religion, Passover is a very important time of family and getting together. And now that's not possible. So people are having Passover dinners by Zoom. Everyone is setting up their table with all the Passover ingredients, and they're reading the story together. And although they're having Passover dinners in separate houses, in separate states. And this shows me that people have hope, that they haven't given up living, that they haven't shut themselves in the door and closed the door. Another friend of mine, it was her niece's birthday. And so they had a drive-by birthday party, where the girl went outside and all the relatives drove by, honking the horns and waving and shouting happy birthday and singing happy birthday. All of that shows that in the midst of everything that is going on, there was hope. There is always hope in the midst of darkness if we only look at it. And once we realize there's hope, then we have the dawn of light, the resurrection. And no one knows what that's going to look like, because the resurrection is always something new. What comes out of the darkness and the dawn is always something new is created. What is the world going to look like when all this is over? Nobody knows. But just like when Jesus rose, that resurrection is this bright light that comes out into the world and changes things so they are never the same. Whatever you believe about Jesus, and whatever you believe about Easter, Jesus' resurrection shows us that anything can be overcome, even death. That no matter how difficult things may be, there is always this light that is going to come through. And it isn't just about the resurrection of one person from man into Christ. It is about the resurrection in all of us of a spirit that comes through when we go through a period of darkness. We see the dawn of hope, and then we get into the period of resurrection. Think about your own life. Any time that you may have gone through a really difficult time, At the end of that time, when you get to the other side of it, who you are is always different than who you were. Because a part of the Christ that was in Jesus is in all of us. And every time we go through that dark night of the soul, every time we go through a crucifixion in our life, the person we become is always different than the person we were. We are constantly growing. We are constantly evolving. And every time we do this, we reach a higher level of Christ consciousness. So when we see these periods of time in our lives, whether they be personal times or times like now, where the whole world is going through this, we have to remember this, that there will be a resurrection. And what that means is something bigger, something greater, something that is going to be beyond our imagination. No one in Jesus' time could have possibly imagined what was going to happen after he was crucified. No one in their own life could possibly imagine what was going to happen to them when they went through a really dark night of the soul. I know in my own life there was no way I could have possibly imagined my life would be what it is today when I was going through those dark times. If someone had told me that, I would have told them that they were crazy. See, we cannot imagine what God has in store for us. We only see through our human eyes. We only hear through our human ears. We only see things in the physical realm. God operates on a much higher length. God operates in the spiritual realm. It's not the religious realm. It's the spiritual realm. It's the world of spirit, where anything is possible, where all things can change, where whatever you dream is possible. So when you're starting to feel despondent, or maybe you're getting lonely, or maybe you're beginning to think this is never going to end, first of all, don't watch the news. Don't watch the death count. Don't watch how many people are being sick. Try and raise your consciousness. Find those good moments, those moments of hope that you can also find on the YouTube, and watch them. Find something funny and laugh. Laughter is such a good key. And most of all, remember this, that this is going to change, and the light is going to shine. Not just the light in the world, but the light within you. From this, you are going to grow into a better, stronger, more sure person than you were beforehand. Whatever you're going through now, you are going to come out of this so transformed that you are not even going to be able to recognize yourself. So close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Just like a caterpillar coming out of its shell, the time of evolving on our spiritual realm is never easy. It can be uncomfortable. It could even be painful. But it is always necessary. It is necessary for us to grow to the next level of being. It is necessary for us to learn how to have relationships and to be a better person. And so whatever you're going through, just stop and breathe and understand that the period of darkness will end. And look around you. Find that hope in the world around you, whether it's a little bit or a lot. And that bit of hope will help you to keep going. And don't worry about what it's going to look like, because often we cannot imagine what God has in store for us. So during this Easter, let us make it a personal Easter. Let us understand that this period of darkness is part of what is needed for us to truly become the people that God created us to be. And so know this, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you are not alone. God loves you. God protects you. and God is with you. And so is this church. Thank you. So here at Unity, we have 5 basic principles that we believe in, and we would like to go over them. We always do every Sunday to reaffirm what we believe in. The first principle is that God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. The second one is I am naturally good because God's divinity is in me and in everyone. And third, I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. And 4, through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. And 5, I do and give my best by living the truth that I know. I make a difference. And so we want you to know that you do make a difference. You make a difference not only in the lives of people around you, in your own life, but you make a difference in this church. And we are so grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us. And so we like to close our service with our prayer for protection. So if you would join me, please. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you and keep you safe, and we will see you next Sunday. Thank you, and happy Easter.